Billionaires become wealthier as other Americans struggle financially, and commercial real estate crash. Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video with your friends. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Benzinga and written by Janine Mancini, titled, "Warren Buffett Says Hardworking Citizens Remain Stuck on an Economic Treadmill. Meanwhile, the rich see a surging tsunami of wealth." The author of this article referenced a Warren Buffett quote from Time magazine back in 2018, where he discussed Forbes' wealthiest Americans. He said, and I'll quote, "Between the first computation in 1982 and today, the wealth of the 400 increased 29-fold, from $93 billion to $2.7 trillion, while many millions of hardworking citizens remained stuck on an economic treadmill. During this period, the tsunami of wealth didn't trickle down, it surged upward." The author went on to say the combined fortune of the 400 richest Americans has now ballooned to $4.5 trillion, magnifying the challenge of wealth distribution. Well, my friends, I have discussed the haves and the have-nots here on the channel countless times. As the super rich see their wealth grow, many hardworking Americans who don't own assets continue to struggle. They often don't see their wages keeping pace with inflation. As Warren Buffett said, they are stuck on an economic treadmill. They are doing their best to get ahead, but they are running in place. For people who are struggling just to cover the cost of living, they don't have any extra money left over to invest in assets that could potentially provide them with some type of long-term financial security. It is a sad state of affairs for many hardworking everyday Americans. Many of the billionaires in this world have made their money on the backs of hardworking employees, who in many cases aren't being paid a livable wage. Some people are not even living, they are just surviving. Some are even struggling to survive and relying on credit in order to pay their bills each month. I'm going to share with you a very interesting section of this article. According to the author, the world's 5 wealthiest men saw their fortunes more than double to $869 billion since 2020, marking a 114% increase. This surge in wealth for Elon Musk, Bernard Arnault, Jeff Bezos, Larry Ellison, and Mark Zuckerberg contrasts with the financial realities faced by the world's poorest 60%, nearly 5 billion people, who in the same time frame experienced a 0.2% decrease in total wealth in real terms. Well, my friends, I am sure some of the billionaires in the world are very philanthropic and do what they can to help other people. I just wish some of them would consider spending less lavishly on mansions, yachts, and jets. This may allow them to give even more money to humanity. I realize something like a yacht creates jobs. People built that yacht, people have to maintain that yacht, and people have to staff that yacht to operate it. On the topic of yachts, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Aislinn Murphy titled, "See Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg's brand new 287-foot super yacht." According to the author, Mark Zuckerberg reportedly rewarded himself with a luxurious gift, a $300 million super yacht, as his net worth approached $200 billion. Well, my friends, I hope he enjoys his new super yacht. I just hope he does what he can to help other people enjoy their lives as well. Somewhere in the world, there is a hungry child who can't fall asleep at night because of hunger pains. Somewhere in the world, there are people being evicted from their apartments because they can no longer afford their increased rent due to inflation. Somewhere in the world, there is someone who is filing bankruptcy because of medical debt that accrued due to a medical emergency that was not expected. All of this while Mark Zuckerberg is basking in the sun on his new super yacht. If my net worth was approaching $200 billion, I wouldn't be buying a super yacht. I read that owners of these super yachts can expect to spend multi-millions per year in operating costs because of expenses such as crew salaries, along with medical and liability insurance, training, uniforms, and then there is the fuel, maintenance, and insurance for the vessel. I can't even imagine what it costs to insure one of these super yachts. Maybe some of these billionaires self-insure. It's really hard to say. I wouldn't want anything to do with the expensive overhead for a super yacht, especially the costly insurance. I'd much prefer to help humanity with the money and give other people a chance at a decent life. On the topic of insurance, I read an article today on yahoo.com put out by the Associated Press titled State Farm Discontinuing 72,000 Home Policies in California in Latest Blow to State Insurance Market. According to the author, State Farm will discontinue coverage for 72,000 houses and apartments in California starting this summer. This comes 9 months after the company announced it would not issue new home policies in the state. Well, my friends, they went a step further from not issuing new home policies in the state. My heart goes out to these people who are having their insurance policies canceled. Some may struggle to find a new insurance carrier, and if they do find a new carrier willing to insure their home, I can imagine it will be more costly. For people with a mortgage, this means their escrow will be underfunded and the mortgage company will have to increase the monthly mortgage payments to compensate. I have no doubt this will catch some people off guard and some individuals may not be able to afford the increases. So why is State Farm doing this? According to the author, they cite soaring costs, the increasing risk of catastrophes like wildfires, and outdated regulations. Well, I can understand the soaring costs. Try getting a contractor to come out to your house. If you are lucky enough to find one who can fit you into his or her schedule, the estimate is going to be expensive. When contractors find out it is an insurance claim, many will try to cash in. Of course, those who are accustomed to doing business with insurance companies use the same type of software that insurance adjusters use to determine the costs. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "How about insurance companies spend less on advertising? We don't need to see the gecko, Flo, Jake, and the emu 10,000 times a day." Another commenter said, "This is because California would not allow insurance companies to raise their rates. It costs much more money to rebuild a home now than it did 3 or 4 years ago. Poor government policy that is meant to protect consumers is actually hurting them." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "It has zero to do with homes burning down. It's about the state of California over-regulating the insurance industry. Labor, materials, and home values have doubled in many California areas in the last 10 years. Insurance companies are taking losses in this state because premiums are not covering damages. The state is preventing premium rate increases that will cover damages without losing money." What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read an interesting article today on Yahoo Finance put out by Business Insider and written by Philip DeMott titled, "The Looming Office Real Estate Crash Will Be Worse Than the Global Financial Crisis Decline, Fitch Says." The author of this article referenced Fitch ratings and said the plunge in U.S. office values could match or exceed 2008's real estate fallout, as prices have yet to bottom out. He went on to say, office values have dropped an estimated 35% so far this cycle. While that's still above the 47% plunge witnessed during the Great Financial Crisis, the latest situation offers no reason to expect the descent to slow. Well, my friends, whenever someone starts talking about the 2008 Great Financial Crisis, alarm bells go off in my mind. Those were some dark times. Commercial real estate is very expensive, so I have no doubt what Fitch is warning about could really come to fruition. Think about the carrying costs for expensive commercial real estate. It is very expensive to pay for insurance, utilities, security, and interior and exterior maintenance for a vacant building until you can find a tenant or a buyer. Also consider the interest that owners are paying to financial institutions, since many don't own these commercial properties outright. These properties are often financed with short duration loans with long-term amortizations. This may be the perfect storm in the commercial real estate market. It is hard to find tenants due to the work from home trend and due to some retailers scaling back their physical footprints. This is all happening at a time when we have higher interest rates. My heart goes out to these property owners who are struggling right now. Some may be left with very few options. I have to wonder if we will start hearing about more commercial property foreclosures in the future. Some financial institutions may try to work with these commercial property owners because they don't want the properties back. The banks probably know they will have a very expensive boat anchor on their hands to deal with. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.